Hey guys, what's up? This is Brett. Welcome to this week's episode of Friday on the Turntable. Before I get started, a few things. I'd like to thank you guys all for all your compliments and your feedback on my tribute to Lou Reed last week. Thank you so much. If you missed that, be sure to check it out on my channel. And secondly, people have been having problems this week. There's a little transition going on with YouTube and Google+, so hopefully you guys are able to leave comments on this one. Yeah, and next thing, just in case you guys aren't aware, I do have a Facebook page as well for my blog. So I'm going to have a link to that as well as Twitter. So if you guys ever aren't able to leave comments or would like to read up further stuff or see other things that I post, be sure to check out my Twitter and Facebook page. I'll put links down there as well. And I think there's also going to be a link for my Instagram page too. All right. So this week I am talking about EPs, or the extended play format. I'm going to show 7 from my collection that that are excellent, some of my favorite ones, and this may be a multi-part series. I'm probably not going to do them in consecutive weeks. It'll be something I'll come back to, and definitely something that you guys may want to hop on and shoot a video response to. So that is always an option for you guys. So the EP, or the extended play, we throw around the term EP a lot, and a lot of people don't quite understand what it is. So as I said before, it's the extended play. Somewhere in between a single and an album. Usually an EP has a name for it. Sometimes it's named after a song, but it's usually not, the emphasis isn't on one song in particular. Usually all 4 songs, between 4 and 6 songs is common. Usually it's under 25 minutes. Then it has this vague mini LP category, but usually 4 to 6 songs, under 25 minutes. And usually the songs aren't then used on an album. Occasionally they are. So let's just get right down to it. Oh, and the formats, they can be in 7-inch, they can be in 10-inch, they can be in 12-inch, and then of course CD EPs, cassettes, and in these days there's also the digital EPs as well. So I'm going to go in chronological order here. I'm going to start things off here from 1978. This is from one of my favorite bands of all time. This is Joy Division, an Ideal for Living EP. This is not an original. This is a replication of it. It even replicates the original label, Enigma, here on red vinyl. 4 songs. It was originally released on 7-inch, and there was some problem with the mixes or the mastering or whatever it was. And the band then shortly after reissued it on a 12-inch with a different album cover. But they were, the sketch and everything was done by Bernard Sumner from the band, or he went by Bernard Albrecht back then. It captured Joy Division in their youth, so the songs have a definite more of a punk vibe than what came later. So the tracks Warsaw, No Love Lost, Leaders of Men, Failures are all great, and they were later collected on a Joy Division compilation called Substance. So I think they're the first 4 tracks on that, so you can definitely hear that. But this is a cool little EP to have, which replicates the original one. So yeah, Joy Division, an Ideal for Living. All right, coming up next from 1982. If you guys follow my posts regularly, you'll remember a few weeks back I ranked R.E.M's entire catalog, and I had several comments saying, why did you not include Chronic Town? Well, I was going for just strictly their studio albums, so Chronic Town now has a nice place to be discussed. This was the band's actually first release. I mean, they had a single before it, but this preceded their first album, I should say. And it was a 5-song EP released in 1982, so a year before their first album, Murmur. None of the tracks appeared on Murmur. And you had 1 Million, Stumble, Wolves Lower, Gardening at Night, which is one of my favorite R.E.M. songs, and Carnival of Sorts, parentheses, Boxcars. Yeah, so this is R.E.M's Chronic Town, 1982. Also in 1982, And I have Warren down in Australia to thank for adding this to my collection, I think over a year ago. And this is the Church Sing Songs EP. And this was put out as an in-between release. So it was in between their second album, Blurred Crusade, and their third album, Seance. And I think it's 5 songs, and I just listened to this before I shot the video because I just wanted to hear it again. I pull this one out at least once a month to listen to it. And it has a cover of, Rock. I'm a Rock, sorry, by Simon and Garfunkel. I just went totally blank there. But this is a cool, every song on this is excellent. A Different Man, The Night is Very Soft, Ancient History, In This Room, and then of course, I Am a Rock. But yeah, this is really hard to find, and this version that Warren sent me is on the Australian EMI Parlophone label. I'll pull that out here, or yeah, so you guys can see that one. I know I showed this a long time ago when Warren sent it to me. But yeah, there it is. And I actually have kept, sorry, let me just set that there. I actually have kept Warren's original note in here with the record, which I like to do. So that was The Church. Excellent. Seek it out. It's available digitally. The vinyl is extremely hard to find, but I know they reissued the Sing Songs, and it also includes the Persia, which was another EP that had the other songs from sessions, and I think it's called Sing Songs EP, and it's on a CD, and I think it collects all those. I don't have that. I have it digitally, though. All right. Another one that I can thank another vinyl community member for sending me, and this was from Raul, Citizen Toxie 69. I've had this on CD for a really, really long time, and the vinyl one has eluded me for years. And this is Christian Death with Death Wish, and this is an interesting release because it was released in 1984, but this actually, like the R.E.M., the recordings preceded their first album, Only Theater of Pain, which came out in 1982. So this has the original Christian Death lineup with Roz Williams, Rick Agnew, George Bellinger, and James McGearty. And it has 6 songs, one of them being Dogs, which was on a compilation of LA bands called Hell Comes to Your House. Really cool, really cool track. It also has the title track, Death Wish. It also, I wrote them down here so I would not forget. Sorry, a little disorganized here. Romeos Distress. It has a different mix, or an early version of Romeos Distress, Spiritual Cramp, and Cavity, which then appeared on Only Theater of Pain. And then it has another track called Desperate Hell, which was not on Only Theater of Pain. But there has since been CD reissues of that debut album, which collects this entire Death Wish EP on there. So I think instead of 10 songs, it has all 16 on there. So it actually includes that. So if you have a later CD version of Only Theater of Pain, you have the Death Wish EP on there. So this is really cool. It's on the Invitation of Suicide label, a French pressing. So yeah, from 1984, that is the Death Wish EP. All right, 1985. This is seriously one of my favorite releases of all time. This is just such a great EP. And I've talked about this before, I've shown it before. It's the only thing that this band released. There was never an album after it, so it came out in 1985, 5 songs, and then the band was done. And this is Cycom. This was originally released on the Mohini record label. Later it was reissued, I think it was in 1993 or 1994 on the Triple X label. And Cycom, if you're unfamiliar, it was the first band of Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction, and you can see all the pictures of the band members there: Aaron Scher, Vince Duran, Kelly Wheeler, and Perry Farrell. And it was originally pressed on, I think there was 1,500 in its original pressing, and you know it's storied that half of them were ruined, they were warped. So I've told this story before, but back in the early 90s, I actually came across a sealed copy, and my friend and I bought it. It was a 12-inch, and the cover, instead of the white or the cardboard color, it had a black border, and it was a 12-inch. Yeah, fantastic. Perry Farrell in his lower range before he really explored that falsetto he's known for. You can hear a glimpse of that in the track Ziola, but the other tracks he sings in that deeper, resonating voice. The music is not very reminiscent, but it has a sound of the early, like, you know, Juju Susie and the Banshees or Gene Loves Jezebel Promise. So it has that nice early, you know, no keyboards. It's just guitar, bass, drums, vocals. You know, kind of, you know, if we could say a early goth rock sound. And this version, it has an envelope. It's a 10-inch. Like I said, the original was a 12, and this is on clear vinyl. The sound of this EP, the production, the recording of it is great. The drumming, tribal, the bass tones, everything about it, and the guitar playing, it's just it's excellent. And as I said, it's one of my favorite recordings of all time right there. Even this 10-inch is super hard to find now. It was limited as well. CDs, you can find those. Those are out of print, but usually you can stumble across those. So that was from 1985. Also in 1985, this is categorized more as a compilation, but it is only a 5-song release. And it's from the band James, another one of my favorite bands from Manchester. This collected their first 2 singles, which are long out of print, really hard to find. Jim 1 and Jim 2. So it has What's the World, which was later covered by the Smiths, one of the few cover songs that the Smiths actually recorded. And it has Folklore, Fire So Close, If Things Were Perfect, and Hymn from a Village, which is a song that the band continues to play up to this day. I've seen them do that a couple times. This was on Factory Records. James's first release, first couple singles were on Factory, and I think they later went on to be on, was it Rough Trade? And then later I think it was Fontana, but a really cool, you know, James in their earlier years, very quirky sound in their earlier years, much different than what would appear on albums like Seven or Laid or Whiplash. A band that has had a long and great career, and this is cool to have. Yeah, all right, and that's the Village Fire EP compilation. All right, I have one more for you guys here, and 4-song EP. This came out in 1985. This is U2's Wide Awake in America. It collected 2 songs that appeared on the Unforgettable Fire, which came out in '84, but the versions of these 2 songs are different. It's Bad and A Sort of Homecoming, 2 incredible songs, and the live versions that are captured on this recording are brilliant. And then the other 2 tracks are non-albums. They were non-album tracks that were used as B-sides, and that was The Three Sunrises and one of my absolute favorite U2 songs of all time, Love Comes Tumbling, which is just, it's a song that, you know, there's no songs I would eliminate from the Unforgettable Fire, but, you know, if there was room to fit one more track on that, from that era of U2, Love Comes Tumbling is it. But it's great to have this. I remember getting this when I was a kid on cassette, and it's just stellar. So that's U2's Wide Awake in America EP. So I think that wraps it up. So like I said, I'll probably be doing another follow-up to this one in the future to show some more EPs. You guys, if you'd like to contribute, show some of your favorite extended plays on any format, be sure to do that. Just send me a message or tag me so I know that you shot a video. Like I said, I'm gonna have links for Facebook, Twitter, and yeah, guys, thanks for watching. As always, thanks for subscribing, and talk to you guys soon.